हेलो दोस्तों, बिगनर्स माइंड में आपका स्वागत है। और अभी हम कर रहे हैं इकोनॉमी, जो क्या है, नाइन्थ क्लास है। इससे पहले की वीडियो नहीं देखी तो प्लेलिस्ट बना दी है, उसको जाकर देख लेना, ठीक है। इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटीज़ बाय मैन एंड वुमेन, इससे पहले का पढ़ लिया था। अब इसके बाद क्या, विलास के कह रहा है और सकल का कह रहा है। पीपल हैव बीन एंगेज्ड इन वेरियस एक्टिविटीज़। जो वहाँ के पीपल वगैरह थे गाँव के, वो सब कैसे थे, एंगेज थे, यानी कि बिजी थे, कोई काम कर रहे थे कुछ ना कुछ, ठीक है, एक्टिविटीज में। वी सो दैट विलास सोल्ड fish and suckle got a job in the firm. The various activities have been classified into three main sectors, that is primary, secondary and tertiary. Primary sector includes agriculture, forestry, animal husbandry, fishing, poultry farming, mining, and quarrying. Manufacturing is included in the secondary sector. Trade, transport, communication, banking, education, health, tourism, sector services, insurance, etc. are included in the tertiary sector. The activities in this sector result in the production of goods and services. These activities added value to the national income. These activities are called economic activities. Economic activities have two parts: market activities and non-market activities. Market activities involve remuneration to any one who performs, that is, activity performed for pay or profit. These include production of goods or services, including government services. Non-market activities are the production for self-consumption. These can be consumption and processing of primary product and on account production of fixed asset. Activity: visit a village or colony located near to your residential area and note down the various activities undertaken by the people of that village or colony. If this is not possible, ask your neighbor what is their profession. In which of the three sector will you category categorize their work? Say whether these activities are economic or non-economic activities. Vilas sells fish in the village market. Vilas cooks for food for his family. Sakal works in the private firm. Sakal looks after his younger brother and sister. Due to historical and cultural reasons, there is a division of labor between men and women in the family. Women generally look after domestic chores and men work in the fields. Sakal's mother Sheila cooks food, cleans utensils, washes clothes, cleans the house, and looks after her children. Sakal's father Bhutta cultivates the field, sells the produce in the market, and earns money for the family. Sheila is not paid for the services delivered for upbringing of the family. Bhutta earns money which he spends on rearing his family. Women are not paid for their service delivered in the family. The household work done by women is not recognized in the national income. Geeta, mother of Vilas, earned an income by selling fish. Thus, women are paid for their work when they enter the labor market. The earning, like that of their male counterpart, is determined on the basis of education and skill. Education helps individual to make better use of the economic opportunities available before him. Education and skill are the major determinants of the earning of any individual in the market. A majority of women have merged education and low skill formation. Women are paid low compared to men. Women क्या होती हैं, कम क्या करती हैं, वेजेस मिलते हैं उन्हें मैन के अकॉर्डिंग. Most women work where job security is not there. Various activities relating to legal protection is merged. Employment in this sector is characterized by irregular and low income. इस सेक्टर में कैसी है, एम्प्लॉयमेंट है लेकिन irregular or low income है. In this sector, there is an absence of basic facilities like maternity leave, children care, and other social security systems. However, women with high education and skill formation are paid at par with the men. Among the organized sector, teaching and medicine attract them the most. Some women have entered administrative and other services, including jobs that need high levels of scientific and technological competence. Ask your sister or your classmate what she would like to take up as a career. Quality of population. The quality of population demands depends upon the literacy rate, health of a person indicated by life expectancy and skill formation acquired by the people of the country. The quality of the population ultimately decides the growth rate of the country. Illiterate and unhealthy population are a liability for the economy. Literate and healthy population are an asset. Education. Suckle's education in the initial years of his life bore him the fruits in the later years in terms of good job and salary. We saw education was an important input for the growth of Suckle. It opened new horizon for him, provided new aspiration and developed values of life. Not only for Suckle, education contributes towards the growth of society also. It enhances national income, cultural richness, and increase the efficiency of governance. There is an provision made for funding universal access, retention and quality in elementary education with a special emphasis on girls. There is also an establishment of pace setting of schools like Navodaya Vidyalaya in each district. Vocational streams have been developed to equip large number of high school students with occupations related to knowledge and skills. The plan outlay on education has increased from 151 crore in the first plan to 376.90 crore in the 11th plan. The expenditure on education has a percentage of GDP rose from 0.64% in 1951 to 52 to 3.3% in 2013 to 14 BE. लिटरेसी रेट्स इन इंडिया 1951 इतना हो जाएगा 1961 71 81 19 2001 2004 2011 ठीक है ये है बजटरी एस्टिमेट द लिटरेसी रेट्स हैव इंक्रीज्ड फ्रॉम 18% in 1951 to 74% in 2010 or 11 literacy rate is not only a right, it is also needed. The citizens are to perform their duties and enjoy their rights properly. However, a vast difference is noticed across different sections of population. Literacy among males is nearly 16.6% higher than females, and it is about 16.1% higher in urban areas as compared to the rural areas. In 2011, literacy rate vary from 94% in Kerala to 62% in Bihar. The primary school system has expanded to over 7.68 lakhs in 2004 to 2005. Unfortunately, this huge expansion of schools has been diluted by the poor quality of schooling and high dropout rates. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan is a significant step towards providing elementary education to all children in the age group of 6 to 14 years by 2010. It is a time bound initiative of the central government in partnership with the states, the local government, and the community for achieving the goal of universalization of elementary education. Along with it, bridge courses and back to school camps have been initiated to increase the enrollment in elementary education. Midday meal scheme has been implemented to encourage attendance and retention of children and improve their nutritional status. These policies could add to the literate population of India. The 11th plan endeavored to increase the enrollment in higher education of the 18 to 23 years age group 15% by 2011-2012 and 21% by 12th plan. The strategy focuses on increasing access, quality, adaptation of state-specific curriculum modification, vocalization, and networking on the use of information technology. The plan also focuses on distant education, convergence of formal, non-formal, distant, and IT education institutions. Over the past 50 years, there has been a significant growth in the number of university and institutions of higher learning in the specialized areas. Let us read the table to see the increase in number of college universities, enrollment of students and requirement of teachers since 1951 to 2011, 12, 2012 and 13. अब आ जाते हैं हेल्थ पे। फर्म मैक्सिमाइज प्रॉफिट। डू यू थिंक एनी फर्म would be induced to employ people who might not work efficiently as a healthy worker because of ill health? The health of a person helps him to realize his potential and the ability to fit illness. An unhealthy person becomes a liability for an organization indeed. Health is an indispensable basis for realizing one's well-being. Henceforth, improvement in the health status of the population has been the priority of the country. Our national policy too aims at improving the accessibility of healthcare, family welfare and nutritional service with a special focus on the underprivileged segment of population. Over the last 5 decades, India has built up a vast infrastructure and has developed manpower required at primary, secondary and tertiary sector in government as well as in the private sector. These measures adopted have increased the life expectancy to over 66 years in 2011. Infant mortality rate (IMR) has come down from 147 in 1951 to and 42 in 2012. Crude birth rates have dropped to 22.1 and death rate to 7 within the same duration of time. Increase in life expectancy and improvement in child care are useful in assessing the future progress of country. Increase in longevity of life is an indicator of good quality of life marked by self-confidence. Reduction in infant mortality involves the protection of children from infection, ensuring nutrition along with mother and child care. SC, PHC और CHC 51, 725, 81, 57,363, ये सब देखने की जरूरत भी नहीं है, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता इससे। थर्ड पॉइंट है, डू यू थिंक द इंक्रीज इन द नंबर ऑफ डॉक्टर्स एंड नर्सेज is adequate for India? If not, why? What other facilities would you like to provide in a hospital? Discuss about the hospital you have visited. Can you draw a graph using this table? There are many places in India which do not have even these basic facilities. There are only 381 medical colleges in the country and 301 dental colleges. Just four states like Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu have maximum number of colleges. How many doctors are there in the hospital? How many nurses work in that hospitals? Besides, try to gather the following additional information. How many hospitals are there in your locality? How many dispensaries are there in your locality? Unemployment. Sakal's mother, Sheila, looked after the domestic chores, children and helped her husband Butta in the field. Sakal's brother, Jitu and sister Situ spent their time playing and roaming. Can you call Sheila or Jitu or Situ unemployed? If not, why? Unemployment is said to exist when people who are willing to work at going wages cannot find jobs. Sheila is not interested in working outside her domestic domain. Jitu and Situ are too small to be counted in the workforce's population. Neither Jitu, Situ or Sheila can be counted as unemployed. The workforce population includes people from 15 years to 59 years. Circle's brother and sister do not fall within this age group, so they cannot be called unemployed. Circle's mother Sheila works for the family. Sheila is she is not willing to work outside her domestic domain for payment. She too cannot be called unemployed. Suckle's grandparents, although not mentioned in the story, cannot be called unemployed. In case of India, we have unemployment in rural and urban areas. However, the nature of unemployment differs in rural and urban areas. In case of rural areas, there is a seasonal and disguised unemployment. Urban areas have mostly educated unemployment. Seasonal employment happens when people are not able to find jobs during some months of the year. People dependent upon agriculture usually face such kind of problem. There are certain busy season when sowing, harvesting, weeding and threshing is done. Certain months do not provide much work to people dependent on agriculture. In case of disguised unemployment, people appear to the employed. They have agricultural plot where they find work. This usually happens among family members engaged in agriculture activity. The work requires the serve of 5 people but engage 8 people. 3 people are extra. These 3 people also work in the same plots as the others. The contribution made by the 3 extra people does not add to the contribution made by the 5 people. If 3 people are removed, the productivity of the field will not decline. The field require the service of 5 people and the 3 extra people are disguised unemployed. In case of urban areas, educated unemployment has become a common phenomenon. Many youth with matriculation, graduation, and post-graduation degrees are not able to find job. A study showed that unemployment of graduate and postgraduate has increased faster than among matriculates. A paradoxical manpower situation is witnessed as surplus of manpower in certain categories coexist with shortage of manpower in others. There is unemployment among technically qualified person on one hand, while there is a dearth of technical skills required for economic growth. Unemployment leads to wastage of manpower resource. People who are an asset for the economy turn into a liability. There is a feeling of hopelessness and disappear among the youth. People do not have enough money to support their family. Inability of educated people who are willing to work to find gainful employment implies a great social waste. Unemployment tends to increase economic overload. The dependence of the unemployment of the working population increase. The quality of life an individual as well as of society is adversely affected. इससे क्या होता है सोसाइटी जो होती है अफेक्ट होती है when a family has to live on a bare substance level there is a general decline in its health status and rising withdrawal from the school system. Hence, unemployment has detrimental impact on the overall growth of an economy. Increase in unemployment is an indicator of a depressed economy. It also wastes the resource which could have been gainfully employed. If people cannot be used as a resource, they naturally appear as a liability to the economy. In case of India, statistically, the unemployment rate is low. A large number of people represented with low income and productivity are counted as employed. They appear to work throughout the year, but in terms of their potential and income, it is not adequate for them. The work that they are pursuing seem forced upon them. They may therefore want other work of their choice. Poor people cannot afford to sit idle. They tend to engage in any activity irrespective of its earning potential. Their earning keeps them on a bare substance level. Moreover, the employment structure is characterized by self employment in the primary sector. The whole family contributes in the field even though not everybody is really need. So there is disguided guised unemployment in the agriculture sector, but the entire family shares what has been produced. This concept of sharing of work in the field and the produce raised reduce the hardship of unemployment in the rural sector. But this does not reduce the poverty of the family. Gradually, surplus labor from every household tends to migrate from the village in search of jobs. Let us discuss about the employment scenario in the their sectors mentioned earlier. Agriculture is the most labor absorbing sector of the economy. In recent years, there has been a decline in the dependence of population on agriculture, partly because of disguised unemployment discussed earlier. Some of the surplus labor in agriculture has moved to either the secondary or the tertiary sector. In the secondary sector, small-scale manufacturing is the most labor-absorbing. In case of the tertiary sector, various new services are now appearing, like biotechnology, information technology, and so on. Let us read a story to know how people could become an asset for the economy of a village. The story of a village. There was a village inhabited by several families. Each family produced enough to feed its member. Each family met its need by the members making their own clothes and teaching their own children. One of the families decided to send one of its sons to an agriculture college. The boy got his admission in the nearby College of Agriculture. After some time, he became qualified in agro-engineering and came back to the village. He proved to be so creative that he could design an improved type of plug which increased the yield of wheat. Thus, a new job of agro-engineer was created and filled in the village. The family in the village sold the surplus in a nearby neighboring village. They earned good profit, which they shared among themselves. Inspired by this success, all the families, after some time, held a meeting in the village. They all wanted to have a better future for their children too. They requested the panchayat to open a school in the village. They assured the panchayat that they would all send their children to school. The panchayat, with the help of government, opened a school. A teacher was recruited from a nearby town. All the children of this village started going to school. After some time, one of the families gave training to his daughter in tailoring. She started stitching clothes for all the families of the village, for everyone now wanted to buy and wear well tailored clothes. Thus, another new job, that of a tailor, was created. This had another positive effect. The time of the farmers in going far for buying clothes was saved. As the farmers spent more time in the field, the yield of the farms went up. This was beginning of prosperity. The farmers had more than what they could consume. Now they could sell what they produced to others who came to their village markets. Over time, this village, which formerly had no job opportunities in the beginning, had many like teacher, tailor, agro engineer, and many more. This was the story of a simple village where the rising level of human capital enabled it to evolve into a place rich with complex and modern economic activities. You have seen how inputs like education and health helped in making people an asset for the economy. The chapter also discusses about the economic activities undertaken in the three sector of the economy. We also studied about the problem associated with with unemployment. Finally, the chapter ends with the story of village which formerly had no job but later had penalty। और इसी के साथ चैप्टर क्लोज हो जाता है और इसी के बाद अब पढ़ेंगे अगला चैप्टर कल।